If you have 0 accounts of any kind showing up on your credit bureau report as active, they're all closed and they're all 0 balanced, then it doesn't take that long for your credit score to evaporate, which is wonderful.
It's not wonderful. I've been hearing Dave Ramsey give this advice of not needing a credit score for so many years. For the average person, letting your credit score evaporate, as he just said, is actually horrible. Because if the credit score goes down, you're going to pay more for car insurance. You're going to pay more for your car loans and your home loans. Now, he says, don't get loans, pay cash, but it's intellectually dishonest. The reality is, Dave Ramsey doesn't realize what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck. And the average person living paycheck to paycheck cannot afford to be invisible.
All of these buildings on this campus are 100% paid for. They're worth, yeah, there's 650,000 square feet here. It's worth somewhere around $500 million, okay? So I can go to the local apartment complex down the road down here that's really nice, because we're in a nice area, and I can walk up and they say, what's your FICO score? And I say, I don't have one. I don't borrow money. And I can't rent an apartment there. Now I can write a check and buy the complex. This is how asinine this is, y'all.
Dave thinks the credit scoring industry is asinine because you have tons of money to go out and buy this apartment building. But the practicality is the nuts and bolts. People like normal people living paycheck to paycheck, you need a credit score so you can rent an apartment. So you can get a good interest rate when you buy a home with an FHA loan with 3.5%. We're not talking about using a credit score to build and get in debt. It's using your credit score to take advantage of the game so you can take advantage and build your financial future. I mean, bottom line is most people do not have $500 million to own these buildings free and clear and hundreds of $1 million to buy the apartment building.
I mean, I've not had any services of any kind that I've wanted denied in 20 years.
Yeah.
You've never had any services you wanted for the past 20 years denied? Come on, Dave. Like any? Not one time? Okay, like what about in the beginning? What about when you filed your bankruptcies? There wasn't a time when you wanted to buy a different car or you had to buy a different car and you couldn't get it? Or maybe your first home when you didn't have the 100,000 or 200,000 to put down and buy it cash and you needed to get an FHA loan? Come on, really? You never in 30 years or 40 years been denied one time of something you really wanted? If you didn't want it, why'd you apply?
But in the first 10 years, when I started this stuff with no credit cards, I was walking around with no credit card. They didn't have debit cards.
So you had to have
And
cash.
so
cash.
I'm like, yeah, and I did run into places that, I couldn't get in the hotel without a credit card. I couldn't rent a car.
So you have been denied for services. Obviously, you just said it. And that's what I want to point out. Most people are not in a financial position like Dave Ramsey, where they can just buy whatever they want. It's just not there. We have clients who are teachers. We have clients who are working at Walmart and they're raising their family. They're struggling and they're figuring out every way to improve. And part of how to do that is to be responsible and understand the credit game. I'm not saying go in debt. I'm not saying take advantage of your credit score and like double down on it and pay the minimum monthly payment. I'm saying use your credit as an advantage so you can take advantage of lower car interest rates, lower insurance interest rates, and of course, 30-year mortgages with interest rates that are very, very small, especially historically.
I went to speak one time on people getting out of debt, and the company I was speaking for had reserved me a rental car. When I got off the airplane, they wouldn't let me have it. I had to call a cab.
So
I mean, you laugh it off like it's funny. Yeah, I get it. I mean, you couldn't get the rental car and you had to call a cab, but it's not funny because people who don't have the money to call the cab, it matters. These are the little things that matter. You won't be able to travel because you don't have the credit card. You can't rent a car because you don't have the credit card. It's going to be harder to get a hotel room because you don't have the credit card. I'm not saying buy things and put it on the credit card. I'm not saying buy things and carry the balance on your credit card. For most people, not having a credit card isn't funny, it's expensive. And it's a deal breaker in many cases where people can't travel. They can't afford taxis wherever they go. And this is why you need credit. You need to use credit to your advantage.
but I pay a higher car insurance rate because I have a 0 credit score. My cell phones are through our company. We've got a bazillion cell phones, so it's a corporate contract. But if I were walking in and a situation pops up like that with me today or with you today, I just go, not only do I have a 0 credit score, but my credit bureau report's frozen. And so you can't access it. So good luck with that.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work out.
You want my business right
It's not
now?
gonna work out.
Or
Do you want this money or not? And they're like, okay,
yeah, we'll take your money. That's right.
okay, we'll figure it out.
Dave can walk into a cell phone company and say, look, do you want a business or not? He's Dave Ramsey. Like everyone knows Dave Ramsey. That's not the case for normal people. That's not the case for you and I. You walk in Verizon, you walk into T-Mobile, and you're like, look, you can't run my credit. They're going to be like, see ya. Okay. The funny thing about it, he talks about corporate credit. He talks about his business having a bazillion cell phone lines. He's getting corporate credit. Like the bottom line is he is extended credit because of who he is. It may not be the 3-digit code that you and I have. We have a 3-digit code because no one knows who we are. But when you're Dave Ramsey, you don't need a 3-digit code. He walks in the door, everyone is begging for his business. He's getting contacted by national sales representatives begging for the business. He can put pressure on companies. People like us, we can't.
Has nothing to do with whether you're winning financially. 100% of your FICO score has to do with how you've interfaced with debt.
That's flat out false and dangerous advice for anyone who lives in the real world. The fact is that your credit score is going to help you take advantage of certain levers, structures in our society to help you grow faster. The difference between a 720 credit score and a 620 credit score on a home loan can be hundreds of thousands of dollars over the life of that loan. We're talking 2-3% interest rate over 30 years. On a car loan, the difference between a 720 credit score and a 620 credit score can be like 5-6% difference. You're paying hundreds of dollars more each and every month on the same exact car. In many states, and Dave even talks about this, credit scores can determine the rate you pay on car insurance. Now, is that fair? No. This is the society we live in. You need a 3-digit score in order to take advantage of some of the opportunities that you're going to come across when you're either buying a home, buying a car, whatever that is, buying an investment property. If you really want to sit on the sidelines until you can afford to buy that investment property for cash, most of us will be sitting a very, very long time.